Hi everybody, I'm Justin Sweeney coming to you in front of the White House North Lawn in Washington, D.C. on the Basketball on K-Fox Shoot-Around Report. We are on our way to Fredericksburg, Virginia on the campus of the University of Mary Washington. Right now we're about 1 hour northwest of that location, heading down there to chronicle the Sweet 16 matchup, which will tip off tomorrow afternoon on the Pacific Coast. It'll take place 5 p.m. on the East Coast as number 3 George Fox faces off against the NESCAC at-large bid, the Bowdoin Polar Bears. Should be an excellent matchup. Now the George Fox Bruins coming into the Sweet 16 after a heart-stopping victory last Saturday night back home in Newburgh as they squeaked by the Lewis and Clark Pioneers as they won the 4th of 4 meetings between those two teams. Now the George Fox Bruins barely got to this point. It took a desperation heave by Katie Anderson that came, albeit just a few nanoseconds too late after the buzzer sounded. The 3 went miraculously in off the backboard. Had it gone in before the buzzer sounded, the Bruins would be home, and instead the Lewis and Clark Pioneers would be here, but the Bruins live on. It feels magical as they have arrived into the Sweet 16 for now the 5th year straight. They are looking for more. They will take on the Bowdoin Polar Bears for the first time in the history of their school's program. Bowdoin coming off of a 55-51 victory against Ithaca of New York last Saturday night. It was a low-scoring game throughout, much like that George Fox Lewis and Clark Pioneer contest last Saturday. So it should be interesting to see if this game between the Bowdoin Polar Bears and the George Fox Bruins will take a defensive tone, or if George Fox can find its 3-point accuracy and get to the free throw line as it has done so very adeptly in the last 4 or 5 games. Now Keisha Gordon and Hannah Munger, the scoring leaders of this George Fox team, they are coming off of dual impressive performances in the victory against Lewis and Clark, both registering double-doubles. Hannah Munger with 10 points and 11 rebounds. Keisha Gordon had another monster night with 18 points and 12 rebounds. Those two, this is where the production and leadership of this team begins. So we shall see if Gordon and Munger can lead the George Fox Bruins to victory against the Bowdoin Polar Bears. Once again, the Basketball on K-Fox broadcast will be coming to you live via kfoxradio.georgefox.edu. That audio stream is also accessible via the gfubruins.com George Fox Athletics website, so you can see all of the multimedia links by heading over to gfubruins.com. So George Fox continuing to seek history as they aim for a bid heading into the Sweet 16. They want that bid back to the Final Four as they hope to advance to DeVos Fieldhouse for the first time since they won it all back in 2009. The matchup once more, 29-0, number 3 George Fox facing off against the Bowdoin Polar Bears. That broadcast tipping off at 2 p.m. Pacific time, pregame coverage beginning around 1:45 Pacific, and that will tip off at 5 p.m. on the East Coast. Chris Lumsden and I will have all of the coverage, and we hope you can join us for what should be some extremely compelling action. George Fox and Bowdoin tomorrow night on Basketball on K-Fox.